Hey, hi. Yeah, this is not the type of videos that I make on economics, money, finance, anything like that. This is a really different video because this video is about me, myself, and what I'm feeling recently. I think I'm gonna ask you if you're feeling the same too, or something like that. So, very recently, and I would be lying if I say recently, we're past 1 year, ever since I was 21. I'm 22 right now. I've been feeling that I'm getting old actually. And yeah, it might seem ridiculous, but because a lot of people in their 30s and 40s will be like, nah, you're starting out, so on and so forth, whatever. But I seriously feel I'm getting older. And yeah, I am getting older. 22 is very a big number. Look what Napoleon was doing at 22, and you realize what you're doing. But things have seemed to be looking like a bit scary now. I am really fortunate that I am at the intersection of some of the most cutting edge technologies. I'm working at the forefront of technology, and maybe I may be a part of uh, removing a huge chunk of workforce from the current economic system. And it's not only me, a lot of people also involved, whoever's working on the cutting edge technology that is out there right now, AI, machine learning, whatever you may call that. But I've been feeling this way because are we actually preparing our own assassins? Because if you look at what's happening around, so if you're not aware of this thing and if you've been living under a rock for the last 2 years, technology companies, specifically companies like Oracle, Salesforce, Salesforce recently fired 4,000 people because the job of those 4,000 people can be done by just a bunch of handful of AIs that those some of the people from those 4,000 men and women trained on the first place. So these things actually haunt me, and this is recent note that was sent in big banks and specifically big tech companies like Meta and Alphabet and many other tech companies, small size, mid size, that you don't need to hire junior and mid level engineers. So if you're not aware of engineering roles, there are basically like L1, L2, L3 roles, like level 1, level 2, level 3, junior, mid, and senior. And then you become the staff engineer, which is like the guys leading these three people. So they are now not hiring the mid and junior level. And guess what? 2 years ago, junior level and the mid levels were the one who were training AIs that has now completely, almost completely replaced them. I am not a software engineer, okay? I don't want to be. I can be. Do I have the skills to be? Well, yeah, I can be a junior dev, but I do not want to be. Not because that I'm scared of being disrupted anyway, but I, I don't like, I don't want to, I want to work. I can work and code for myself, build project for myself, but I don't want to do it for anyone else. You get my point? I don't want to do it for a company. Even if AI didn't exist, it's just me. So recently I've been feeling that maybe I'm getting late. So I'm 22. I don't have a job. I don't have a 9 to 5. I do work on the projects, make some little money, but you know, which is pretty much okay for the state I'm in and the country I'm in. But I don't know. There's this weird thing, or maybe it's I'm thinking way too much. That maybe I'm getting late. Maybe the train is getting way ahead of me, and I'm just looking at it, and time is going really, really fast. I was literally like 20 a few years ago, and then 21, and I'm 22. And I feel like, what if I'm left behind? And what if I'm not scared of that people are going to go way ahead of me? That's all right. That's their journey. But what if I am left behind of my own self that was supposed to do something that I didn't do at the first place? If you made sense of that statement. Because things are changing so fast right now. And I've met and contacted at least 200 plus people on LinkedIn, to mails, messages, and no one wants to talk to you nowadays. I don't know, something has happened, and specifically if they just know that you're a Gen Z or you're under 25, or maybe you'll be looking for an opening level job or something like that, they will not even respond. I don't have an issue with rejection. I've been rejected from 40 plus jobs ever since I was 17. That's not a problem. But at least to let me know, like, Even if you're rejecting me, that's all right. Like, I'm not getting gonna hurt by that. I will take something from that and maybe polish myself and improve for the next one, maybe next one. And if I do it 100 times, probably by the 101st and second time, I make it what I desire, or maybe even a fraction of it. I see this thing going on even with people who, according in to me, have made it. Like some of the big YouTubers who are in their early 30s or in their late 20s, 29, 28, 29, who have a huge following, and they say the same thing. Like even they don't know what they're doing. And they even feel like a bit lost, uh, getting drowned in this ocean of nothingness and feeling that they'll be left behind too, even in through my point of view, because the following they have and the number of connections they have, the people they know, probably they have it all fixed up and they have made it in their life. But according to themselves, according to their own standards, they haven't. So I thought of, why not start a quant based hedge fund? What is the hedge fund in itself? And if you're not aware of what a hedge fund is, a hedge fund basically means uh, just assume it to be a fund where you're the fund manager. You don't put the money, but you manage other people's money. And if you make money for them, you make money for yourself. Like it's a commission or cut on whatever you make for them. Basically, the rule is 220 or 520. That means 5% of assets under management and 20% of whatever profits you make. And it completely depends on your reputation. Some people even take 530, whatever, so on and so forth. So I thought about that and then I thought just to do that, I need to get some experience in finance because I'm 22. I popped out of uni when I was 18 after 3 semesters because it was very boring. It was BCom, which is only offered in former Commonwealth nations in India, um, which was also like a colonial nation earlier, a few decades ago. So I popped onto that because it was boring, and now I'm doing my MBA, and things are going. See again, things are not worse. It's not hell everywhere, but I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. Like I'm doing a lot of things, as I've said. I'm in the forefront of a lot of technological development, doing a lot of things, hanging out with a lot of smart people who are working on a lot of smart things, building smart things, probably building technology that might replace a huge chunk of workforce, as just earlier mentioned in the video. But I don't know, and I know that. Well, a lot of you may be thinking, well, you may be replaced by the same technology. Absolutely, absolutely. And that is what's bugging me because I am working on something which if it succeeds, uh, the banks like JP Morgan and Goldman Sachs will never hire people like me, like the opening analyst or the junior analysts or yeah, these kind of people. The opening job in banking is called analyst or associate. They will never hire that if that thing works what I'm working on. And to my surprise, well, I say fortunately, unfortunately, the thing that I'm working on is almost like 85% done, and somehow it's working, and it's working really, really, really well. And this actually bugs me to the fact that what if I spend 4 or 5 years working on something? I mean, working for a job and preparing, getting the job, and literally in 2 months, someone from randomness out of this cosmos brings out something and it just replaces me just like that in the blink of an eye. I'm not talking about ChatGPT or Anthropic or something like that, LLM models. No, I'm talking about, I don't know, maybe a tool or maybe something like that, using the big data that's already being, given out for 10, $20 a month, which is like next to nothing. And I'm not scared again, as I've said, because I'm building some of them. I mean, I'd be not building, I'd be living under the rock because I love technology, I love finance so much. It's just, do, do I ever will get meaning in my work? Because my mom and dad and their mom and dad, whatever they did in their life, big, small, made money to make money, whatever, they had some meaning in life, they had some meaning in work. To me and to the people who are almost my age group, I'm 22 as I've said, the Gen Z kind of generation, I don't know if we will ever have, that kind of a meaning or something. Because in Gen Z, you see a huge polarity. Either you're a Gen Z and you have made $1 million. I mean, I'm not that yet. Or if you're Gen Z, you're completely useless. I mean, I don't say you're useless, but a lot of people, millennials are, boomers term us like that. So I'm neither of those sides. Oh, oops. I'm somewhere in between, and I don't know where, either left or right. But I just wanted to know that. I just wanted to ask you if you guys feel the same and if you are somewhat in this dilemma as well. And it doesn't matter even if you're in your 30s, because I met a lot of people in their 30s who are still figuring out what they want to do with their lives. They may be working one or two jobs. They can't buy homes because it's too expensive. Or even if they do, they have the mortgage, so they can't leave the job. And specifically with investment banking, I've heard even my teacher said a lot of time you eat so much in this job because it's very stressful and hectic, and also because you can't leave this job once you take it, not because the company will force you to stay there, but because the lifestyle they give you after a few years of working in there is too addictive. It's like they trap you with this huge lifestyle, car, home, so on and so forth, that you cannot get out of that circle, of that bubble, and find something for yourself and do something for yourself that may be your calling, or that may be the music for your soul, and have the same living in most cases. Anomaly is always there, but in most cases. So I was just wondering and feeling this lost kind of a thing. I had to tell you and I had to ask you if you guys feel the same. So do let me know. Again, I'm not some special person, I'm just an ordinary person living in an Asian country and trying to find meaning in whatever I do and not just live my life to death and just regretting things over and over again. Trying to take some calculated risks, some mad, crazy risks, and let's see where this journey takes us to. Thank you for watching. And these were the 11 minutes of your life you'll never get again. Thank you.